Welcome to Nerd News Tonight Today, spoken today by the Nerd Migos. Well, that was the introduction.
Are you happy with that introduction?
I'm happy with that introduction. I'm not, I'm going to push forward. Hello, welcome to the three. I was saying three.
It's wobbling. We're going to find our center and
welcome to the Nerd Migos podcast, everyone. My name is Chris.
My name is Ryan.
my name is Jamie.
And I am Michael.
Michael, of course, was the last host, but based upon my own personal feelings on that, he did quite poorly, nasty. Alright, guys. Let's talk nerd news.
Nerd news.
I think we should jump straight into it, because I think we have a lot to talk about. We haven't actually podcasted for quite some time now.
Yep.
Stay tuned for our thoughts and views on Captain Marvel in a separate podcast, but I want to just keep this one strictly things of interest of nerd news. First piece of news. The Disney and Fox merger is now officially complete.
Huzzah.
Mickey Mouse has almost filled the gauntlet.
Yes,
All that's left is DC.
I don't think they'd ever... No. Yeah.
No.
Look, they need a competition. You can't have
Yeah.
something without competition.
But
I
this
agree.
brings me to this point. Now there'll be no movies released under the sort of Fox, 20th Century Fox.
So they're not keeping the Fox.
I heard that they were going to do some minor movies.
There'll be some minor, but essentially, But here's the major issue about competition that I think Jamie just actually alluded to without realizing. There are now one less big studio to compete against.
Yes.
Which means eventually all you'll have to do is go see a Disney movie, basically.
But then Disney is still, working with Sony.
Yeah.
So that means they're kind of together.
And that's an alliance there, so that's one less studio to compete with.
Yeah.
So basically you have, on the other side, you got Universal, Warner Brothers, and Legendary falls under
Legendary,
Universal.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for your big blockbuster competition.
Yep.
Somewhat alarming, I would imagine.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, I think with the merger, there's less competition there, so I'm concerned that might affect, as Chris said, that might actually affect quality of work because they don't have any competition, so there's not that drive to compete.
Yeah.
You don't have that Fox.
Yeah, I mean, they're still
Marvel.
Universal, but
Yeah.
The only thing would be them driving to make more money.
yeah, they already
But
have
then,
literally all of the money.
They have all the money
They-
already.
on
No,
the earth.
just from making films.
Yeah, but I mean, but from a fan standpoint, the thing that obviously everyone's excited about is certain Marvel properties returning into the Marvel
definitely.
universe.
I mean,
X-Men.
they
Fantastic
X-Men,
can
Four.
go,
Fantastic
they
Four.
can
They're my two
actually go back
favourite,
and do a proper civil war instead
Yeah.
of
Or
civil
Avengers versus
disagreement.
X-Men. I'd really like to see an Avengers versus X-Men. I think that now,
That'd be cool.
Amazing.
now that we've had Infinity War, we realise you can't
But-
have that many characters on screen at once.
Yeah, but here's
Yeah,
the
so
thing.
you
Here's the
continue
thing.
to push the boundary in that.
Exactly.
It won't be the Avengers that we want. You won't have Cap.
Yeah. Won't have Thor.
You won't have
probably. Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Although I reckon Hemsworth would come back for a cameo or whatever, but it still would not be the same.
It's not going to be the same Avengers.
It wouldn't be
though.
the same
It's
Avengers.
not- it's
It
not
wouldn't
the-
surprise me if it was Tony Stark as more of a background character and as maybe if Nick Fury bites it, could be a director of Shield or something like that, like what happened in the comics.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get the Avengers like you said as we know them now. There's no they're the Trinity, the Cap,
Yeah.
Thor, Iron Man,
Yeah.
as we know.
Yeah.
So which is
But,
it's a bit disappointing.
We
that
get
it
to
took this
see
long.
Fox's last attempt at X-Men, which is that Dark Phoenix movie.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
What-
Dark Phoenix.
Dark
yeah.
Phoenix.
We all watched the trailer on that. What is our initial thoughts or impressions? Which mine was like, oh, Jennifer Lawrence didn't want to sit in the chair for too much makeup, did she? That's fine. Look, yeah.
Yeah,
Look-
I didn't like the look of
I
Mystique.
like the action sequences with Magneto and holding all the guns
that's
up and
the
going,
only
"I'm gonna
reason
shoot."
I'll see it.
There's that, but then Mark's mentioned this before. I don't think what's her name, Sophie Turner.
Sophie Turner.
She's not a leading lady.
No, she's not. I agree with you.
She can't carry a film.
She cannot because
That's my concern.
she actually really annoys me as Jean Grey. I don't I think the X-Men for me started to go downhill after Days of Future Past. Apocalypse wasn't great.
No, that movie was really bad.
Dark Phoenix, I'm honestly, I'm not really that interested. I'll go for McAvoy and Fassbender.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna
That
go,
is why I will go.
I'm going to go because I kind of want one of them because I've watched them for ages.
Exactly.
And just, you know, they're wrapping up. But I'm
You're
not
honouring the heritage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
I may go.
I'll watch it.
This is my thing.
we're going, Chris. Just face it. We're not going to rush off to see it, but we're going to go see it.
If one Saturday we have absolutely nothing else on and we go, do you want to go see it? I'll be like, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I'm just very disappointed that once again Fox gets to destroy the Dark Phoenix saga,
Exactly.
and we don't get to see a good one.
One last time.
I know there's like X-Men Last Stand. People liked how bad we did that. Let's try again, but this time
Make it worse.
Make it worse. How do we make it worse? Take rid of Wolverine. That's fine. That's good. Yeah.
I think I would like to see the Dark Phoenix saga done under the proper Marvel banner, but I don't think we're going to get it now that this...
No.
We've had it twice in 10 years.
In 10 years. We're not going to get Dark Phoenix again for like 50 years.
Unless they build up
It's
to
gone.
it. Like
Give it another...
it would be the Thanos of
They
the
should
X-Men
have
universe.
built up to it. Yeah,
Well,
they
I mean,
should have. I don't
that
think
was
they
what
did.
Apocalypse was. Apocalypse to me is the Thanos of the Dark...
Yeah, but
He is.
the
But
X-Men
actually,
universe,
yeah.
and they butchered him.
He was the very
No
first mutant.
disrespect to Oscar
But
Isaac, but they...
Yeah.
I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I just
great.
don't think he's a very good Apocalypse.
No, not at all.
And I don't think it was his fault though.
Ivan Ooze was a better Apocalypse than obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they didn't build up to Apocalypse. They just
They
went,
did not.
we're doing another film. Let's do Apocalypse.
Let's put a little
Uh,
post-credits trailer at the end of
Like
Days of Future
he
Past.
should
and that
have
was it.
looked more built like Thanos.
Exactly.
Like he should have been a big.
Well, I mean,
CGI
we've had
character.
Thanos
Yeah, it
build
should
up
have been a
since
big
the first
guy, yeah.
Avengers movie. You
And
know
he
what I
changed
mean?
colours multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From dark purple to a lighter blue and then back to like a...
Maybe he's like a mood ring.
Probably because everyone.
It's his mood.
When they first released the picture, like of the costume and all that, everyone thought Power Rangers villain.
Yeah.
So they went with almost a hewish pink on Thanos now, which is it's a nice colour, I guess. Looks quite interesting. Okay.
It's not pink, it's salmon, Chris.
Sorry, watermelon.
yeah.
Thanos is watermelon. My mistakes. Now, speaking of Disney, they are obviously trying to they're trying to control the entertainment industry. So let's talk about the thing that's going to now fight Netflix. Disney Plus. Disney's streaming service, which may launch this year. Of all accounts, it may launch at the end of this year, if at the earliest. Probably the United States first, because they hate the rest of the world.
Like they did with DC.
They will never get that platform
Yeah.
anyway. So, initially, when I first heard about this Disney streaming service, I was like, meh, who cares? It's another streaming service. There's a lot of streaming services out there. And then they started to talk about things that they're going to put on it. So they're going to say, oh, we're going to have all the Disney back catalogue of all classic films. I'm like,
Of course. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, old Marvel stuff too. I'm like, sure. They said, but hey, mate, do you like Mighty Ducks? And I'm like, I do like Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
I would say.
I do indeed. Yeah.
We all like Mighty Ducks.
And they started announcing other things as well. Going, okay,
You're going to hear this faint sound from the Disney office going quack, quack,
Yeah.
quack, quack, quack.
Definitely. And then they started announcing the Marvel limited
And the Marvel
run.
limited
Falcon,
series?
a Falcon Winter Soldier limited
Oh,
series, a
really?
Loki series,
A Loki series?
a Black Widow. Oh no, not Black
yes.
Widow. But when they said Falcon and Winter Soldier, I was just like,
Is that with the actors?
yes, with Sebastian
Wow.
Shaw and Anthony Mackie. Yes. It's a limited series, so
You
it's
mean
not a
Sebastian
season.
Stan?
No.
Sorry, yeah, I said Sebastian Shaw from the X-Men.
It'll be like 3 or 4 episodes going from now.
It's a limited series. It's not going to be like
Yeah.
an Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or
But
anything.
that,
It's going to be like a
They
6
can't
episode.
do that. They
Yeah.
can't. You know why they can't do that?
Why?
Because we all know that Sebastian Stan should be playing Luke Skywalker.
I know, we all know that.
Oh, don't even get me
Yeah,
started.
let's not go into how upset I am about that. Anyway.
But I mean, those kind of things got me. Okay, Disney, they're trying to expand it. They've seen what Netflix can do,
Yep.
and they're saying, okay, well, people want more of these
Yeah.
characters. Like, I mean,
Big
Winter
money
Soldier
in
and Falcon have had their time in the sun, so to speak. So to give them a limited series, I think
And-
I watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, and obviously, I think what Disney believes will be their flagship launching program, which would be obviously The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which even the jaded Star Wars fans out there have to go. So an Outer Rim world with a lone Mandalorian interest. Tell me more about this.
Yes.
Tell me more about
Intriguing.
this lone Mandalorian. And then they go, we're going to get Pedro Pascal to play him. I'm like, tell me more about this lone Mandalorian. Now, the swarthy guy from Game of Thrones and also from Narcos fame are going, he looks and feels like he's got the suave of a Mandalorian. Yes. Tell me more about this series. There's Jon Favreau doing it. Taika Waititi doing an episode. And I'm going, okay, fine, I'll sign up to Disney Plus. Are you happy, Disney?
But
Are you
those
happy?
names, like Jon Favreau and Taika Waititi, they're
I'm like,
It's not just
I will sign
yeah.
on and because of
could
this.
this renew your interest in Star Wars?
And this is a very. I mean, I think
This is a whole other.
that's a whole other conversation. But it really depends on what direction they're going to try to take Star Wars in the future. This is this kind of Star Wars that I can sort of get behind because
Because it's not the Luke
it's
style
not
saga.
it's not connected to anything. It's some stories about some outer rim worlds with some Mandalorians and laser blaster fire. That's fine, that's all good. But we've seen Disney have success in, say, your Force Awakens,
Definitely.
your Rogue One, which I still think is one of the better Star Wars movies that
Definitely.
things. But then you've also seen them lay complete and utter turds, like
The Last Jedi?
Solo, The Last Jedi, and things of that
Yeah.
nature. And I know people defend The Last Jedi saying it's a visually spectacular film. Yes,
It is visually.
I'm
But
not.
that's not the problem we have.
But again, if you want to hear my thoughts on this, listen to every other podcast we've ever done.
Yeah.
Except for the first ones, because that was pre-Last Jedi.
That was pretty
And you're
much
like,
it.
I promise I won't talk about Star Wars. Star Wars. I promise I won't talk about Star Wars.
And then I get more angry and bitter as I've gone. But
We just need to be careful not to activate Chris.
Yes.
Like, just
Yeah.
trigger Chris.
and then they'll just go on. But again, the series sounds like a really good idea. I'm really interested in seeing how they're going to do it. Because they're constantly shooting Star Wars films, they're going to have lots of sets, props, and already available. So essentially, it should have a movie feel.
Do you think the
to it.
Starship Troopers costumes will weasel their way in?
I would very much like if they did. But we'll talk about Starship Troopers another day. How spectacular film that is, and how
Amazing film.
you can never get tired of watching Starship
no,
Troopers.
not at all.
But that was
Do you want to know more?
Would you like to know more?
But that was a complete and utter random tangent away from everything else. But guy, Ryan, will you be procuring this Disney platform?
Yes, and not because for many reasons. As well as the old Marvel stuff, I'd be interested to see if they do put the old Spider-Man cartoons on there, the old
that'd be
X-Men
good.
cartoon. I mean, I would sign up for those, even though I have them on DVD. It's just I'm with you. Once they started announcing more and more and more, and to be honest with you, these limited series of Marvel that they're talking about, that got me in. Tom Hiddleston has been talking about his Loki series
So
for quite a while.
it's a
a
pre Avenger movie.
Yes.
About what happened when he fell into the
And the
abyss.
fact that all these actors, I mean, I'm sure Disney backed the money truck up, but these actors are still willing to do these characters in other formats. Definitely will be signing up for it.
Yeah, Jamie, your thoughts?
My internet sucks, so I won't be signing up for it until I probably live at a place where I have better internet.
So you.
Or I'll just come round to your places and leech off you guys.
Yep.
Yes, because in Australia, no one torrents anything. There's no such thing
No,
as torrenting
no,
in Australia.
not at all.
Because obviously the government bans torrents.
And there's no way to get around
There's
that.
absolutely
Those laws.
no way. They are airtight.
Yeah.
Those laws are very, very strongly worded.
And that's
Yes.
very strongly worded
and that's
laws.
why the people behind Game of Thrones came out and said, Australia, please don't download.
Exactly.
Because the government's blocked all the torrent sites.
Every
Because
single
when
one
you
of
block
them.
one website, no more pop up. That's it. It just goes. It goes right.
What was that
We're
saying?
done.
It's
We're
like
finished.
the
We're
people.
What was that saying? Chop off one head and two will take its place. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's some sort of Hydra saying. I
Yeah,
believe
but
it was.
it's like when you push the beach ball down,
Yeah.
and then it pops back up somewhere else. Only you push it down like another 80 pop up everywhere.
Yeah. But again, like I said, thank you Australia for completely destroying the torrenting industry. There's no more torrents ever happening.
No, never.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, I'll say, look, I try to support the entertainment industries where I can in terms of money. So I have Netflix Stan, Foxtel, Crunchyroll, and Anime Lab.
Did you just make up Crunchyroll? Because it just sounds so random.
It's an anime streaming service. But I am one for supporting the entertainment industry when I can. That's why I never torrent anything. Wink. Mike, what's your thoughts on Disney Plus?
I will definitely be getting it, mainly for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
For those Marvel series as well.
Yeah.
Those limited runs. I love a good limited run. So that'll be really good. So yes, I'll definitely.
It'll be a chance for them to not sort of, by saying that they're doing a limited run, not to do the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing and just make it.
Look, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. got good after a certain point. You used to get through about 3 seasons of to get to a point where it's somewhat watchable.
I still couldn't get through season 1. Like everyone's
Yeah,
going, but when it syncs up with
does
Winter
get better,
Soldier,
like,
you're like, oh yeah. And I go, but I can't get there.
Yeah, no.
But it
when
does
it
get cool.
syncs up to Winter Soldier, it
Ghost
actually
Rider stuff is pretty good too.
quite good. But to people's point is, no one should have to watch three other seasons of
Rubbish.
mediocrity television
Yeah.
just to get to that absolute crap. But if you want to watch something funny, the main actress Chloe Bennett, if you go on YouTube, she was a Chinese pop star before that, and it's one single. It's really hilarious. Have a watch. It's hilarious.
So it's like Robin Sparkles.
It is exactly Robin Sparkles in every single way. You must watch it. It is hilarious.
Yeah.
Does she go to the mall?
She does, but she doesn't go to mall. Actually, but she does do a weird dance, which is just anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's going under well. But I still want to stick the conversation still on streaming because I think it's an interesting thing because I think it's sort of as we all know, it's killing off modern television.
Yeah.
Well,
Australian television was dead anyway.
Oh, it's anyway, but essentially, why? I mean, it's the concept of like. Why would I wait a week to watch an episode when I can literally watch it all at once and then complain that it's over too soon? Then I have to wait another year to watch it.
Although Netflix still does
some shows they still
certain
do.
shows that it
and in a way that's refreshing.
But they do that because they're airing those shows also on television. So particularly for say Star Trek, which is good.
Yeah.
Because that airs in CBS, and so that's why.
Yeah.
And I think
that's
they do
why
the same
there's
for Black Lightning.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
that because it airs on another channel. That's why there's that sort of delay with that. But there's 2 other series that I want to talk about in the streaming universe that that Mike is about to start masturbating over viciously. Let's talk about Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so now,
Michael, take it away.
Yes. So as you can see,
Here's my
because I
prepared
started to
statement.
talk-
I was up and reveling his scroll. I hereby declare.
And yes, I literally do have a scroll.
Sauron.
So basically, there is a new Lord of the Rings TV show coming out now. The thing about with streaming too is that it's like there's some big money in it now.
Oh, there's
big
huge money to it, yeah.
So this Lord of the Rings TV show is reportedly it's a $250 million deal.
Wow.
And so when you compare that to say Game of Thrones, where maybe they're at about that level now, but even I was talking to Chris.
Yeah, so the first season of a Game of Thrones is about 50 million reportedly in terms of overall money that they had sort of spent.
Yeah, so this one's $250 million deal.
Wow.
So it's basically the story of Sauron. In the set like a couple of thousand years.
It's set way before. Initially,
before.
I heard the rumors was it was going to be about a young Aragorn. I was like, "Ooh, interesting!" But obviously, they've gone way further back.
Well, that gives them more room.
Really young Aragorn.
Fans of the book called Silmarillion,
Yep.
where they detail the war between the human empire and the elves.
Yeah.
From thousands of years before. That's when this will be set.
Is that
so I'm
what we
actually
kind of
very
get
excited.
a glimpse of in the first Lord of the Rings movie?
With some of those broken
glimpse,
steps.
Where there's
No, what you get, apparently, this is what Michael's been telling me, there's been statues of when they're walking through the wilderness,
You know,
you
like
see
all the
the
ruins
kings.
and stuff.
That's the empire that we should be
It's
living in.
It's basically called the Empire of Numenor.
The
It was
Numenorean
basically
Empire.
Middle Earth. Basically, it was a kingdom that was found, like the center of the kingdom was actually an island in the sea, which then got destroyed in giant battles and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
Aquaman.
this. So all the ruins, when you watch the movies, all the ruins in those movies are from this empire, like the giant statues and so this story will be set in that time, and it will be set around how Sauron destroyed that empire.
Okay.
So
I'm very excited about it.
I haven't heard much about it.
And I mean,
No.
it's perfect timing for them to launch it now because Game of Thrones will end this year.
Yeah, last
And
season.
they need a
season 9.
replacement.
And people will be like, where am I going to get my swords and sometimes boob from? And
Yeah.
then, but obviously, I
Sometimes
would
boob.
imagine Lord of the Rings is not going to go down
Are you
the boob
sure you're
path.
watching the same show?
They've already confirmed 5 seasons too. The Lord of the
Wow,
Rings.
5 seasons. have
5
been-
seasons.
That's
Wow.
insane.
I was going to say, ever
David,
been
is
done
that
before?
like the standard 10 episodes?
But the
Not-
thing
we're
is,
not sure yet.
what's so good about that is it means the writers are now writing
Yeah.
5 seasons.
That I agree.
There's going to be continuity.
That's
All the same
that's the
writers.
best way to do it.
Definitely.
Is
But-
writing
and
those
this is
5
the-
seasons.
and this is the thing we have about a company like Amazon with doing this.
Yeah, what platform
They've
is it going
got
to
the
be on?
money.
It's
Is it Amazon?
It's Amazon, and
Yeah.
when the ask is for $250 million, Jeff Bezos could basically walk up to his couch and fish $250 million over his couch and go, "Oh, here you go, here's some cash." A man who's worth reportedly, as per last count, the man's net worth is $137 billion. So a $250 million TV show is like, like, all right,
That's like us going out for a $20 lunch or something.
yeah, basically, yeah. The man has some money.
Yes.
Also on the same platform, Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Enlighten me. Suck
Okay,
me in.
so Wheel of Time is arguably the greatest fantasy books ever written by anyone. Unfortunately, and this is where it gets amazing. So the original writer, whose name eludes me right now, he was actually sick and he was dying before
Ron Jordan,
before he wrote the last book. So he brought another writer in, Brandon Sanderson, who wrote the Mist series and also the further like fantasy style books, and he gave him all his notes. Now, unlike most, say, Hollywood things, who would go, "I'm going to disregard all your work and make my own thing."
Yeah.
He stuck religiously to the canon. He wrote a 2-book series, two books with the fight just at the end of the series that people would actually argue is better than.
see, that's what you
the
want.
other works.
That's what
because
you want.
because Robert Jordan told him this is where this character goes. This is how this works. This is what this is happening, and he stuck to religiously to that point. So he was like, "No, this is a respectable work. I'm not deviating from the source material. I'm going to respect the canon." Lucas, Disney, respect the canon. and he wrote one of obviously and finished one of the greatest fantasy works of all time. And most modern fantasy is basically all borrowing bits from Wheel of Time. That's how insane it is. They're building a TV series. I am so nervous about
Me too.
because
Yep.
Randall Thor, one of the main characters in the book, it'll be first time on air on TV. And because it is this book basically is the absolute epitome of a hero's journey.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
The book revolves around 3 characters who start off in a peaceful, quiet village, go on an epic journey to save the world. It is everything you want from a hero's journey and more.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How are they going? And it's got one of the most amazing systems of magic that has ever been created in terms of any fantasy book. In terms of how it'll be interesting to see what modern day. Feminists, I guess, because actually there is a male magic and a female magic, and so there's actually 2 specific types of magic that
kind of like the yin yang thing.
Yeah, so each of them are strong in their magics. Each of them are strong against the other thing.
That's cool.
And what's really interesting is every time you cast magic, they call it weaving, so you can see them actually creating the magic they're casting. And when a male one casting the same spells versus another male, he can see the weave happening, so he can try to stop it. But when a male fights a female, they can't see each other's magic.
Yeah,
they can only see the
because
spell
they're different.
going off because it's so different. So essentially, like, a male is weak against a female because they can't see what's happening, and a female's weak against a male because they can't see. It's a really interesting concept of how magic works, and each of the characters in the book is sort of based loosely upon an actual mythological character itself. So essentially, they have a very similar journey to certain Thor. One character is very similar to a Thor. One's very similar to an Odin.
Yeah.
One's got a very, I won't say too much for Michael because he hasn't finished it. A very other religious icon, that god metaphor. But they're making a series of it, and finally the rights got given to someone who I think will do a good job because Amazon has some money, so I'm sure they're going to make it good. I hope. But it also could be a one-season failure, which is my concern because it's such an amazing story. But the books are so detailed that that's where you can have the concern of failure.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it is like the first book, they're barely out of the village and into the world because it goes into such huge detail.
So the entire first season is them just grabbing a beer at the local tavern.
yeah. I mean, even how they describe the sword fighting in the book is insane because essentially each sword move has a specific name of it. No one ever as you're reading it, describing what move counters.
It's
which
like
move,
it's moves like cat walks along the alley sort of thing. That's what it was like. So
and then
tiger hiding in the bush.
Tiger hiding in the bush and star reaching to the heavens, and so basically they go like cat. So it's like a cat walking through the bush into star. They sort of give it really. And your imagination takes what that sword. Like, they don't actually describe what that technique does, but as you read it, it's like in your head you sort of picture this amazing sword fight. How that translates into actual sword fight?
But see, that gives them license. See, because when they read that, when the writers for the show and the choreographers go, because the choreographers will take that and go, okay, Swan in the reeds.
What does that look like?
Actually, hopefully they'll actually have a team of martial arts choreographers who will choreograph.
If they don't do that,
awesome.
That to me is a failure of a TV show.
Because the sword fighting is a highlight of those books.
Because what you want to have, and how with any fandom, is you want to basically create on screen a sword fight technique, then people can go learn in real life, and so you can be like, so there's Wheel of Time nerds like learn the actual fighting style. Anyway.
But like you said, Amazon's got the money for them to actually put the time and the resources into doing that. So that might be, if anyone were to do it.
Now,
I don't know too much about Wheel of Time, but it's got me interested.
It's amazing, but
I'll know nothing about it. Like when I played Mass Effect 3 and Chris and Mike were devastated, and I was like, what? Because I'd never played a Mass Effect game in my life.
Jamie hadn't played the previous two,
So
whereas me and Chris were like loyal with our characters through the first two games.
Yeah.
So for Jamie, he was like, no, this is great.
So I won't know if it sucks or not.
Yeah.
I took that game back and got a refund the day I finished it. Like I finished
I've heard a lot of things about the ending.
The ending was the worst thing that has ever happened. No, I'm just kidding. It was bad because the whole thing about Mass Effect is all about choices.
Yes.
So in the first game, it's like going, you got to do this or this bad thing happened, and you go, no, my character goes, no, screw your choices, I'm doing this and winning, and you do. It's awesome. It's amazing. They say, you can't unite the races in the first one, and then you do. You do some quests, and they all come support, and humanity shows that they're capable of helping out the races. There's an option in the first game where it's like going, the council's under attack, we can help them, or if we don't, we can still save our fleet to save the world. And then you go, no, we're part of the universe, we're gonna sacrifice ships to save the council. And then the next game, that choice goes, aliens are like going, humanity, you're part of us now, or they go, you dicks, you absolute
So that carries over into the next
and then in the second one, they bring the choice. They say, you're going on a suicide mission, there's 8 of your party members, you're all like, there's no chance you can get them all alive. And then the whole game is like going, no, I can do it. I'm the commander. I'm the Paragon. So you build up the relationship with all the party members, and then the whole thing is you can do the whole entire mission, and no one dies. And they're going, cool. And then it comes to the third one. You unite the galaxy. You do these amazing speeches about, and you finally get it all together. You build all the effort in. They go, okay, cool. Here's your 3 endings. Pick one.
Yeah, literally, it's red, green, or blue. Literally colours. You just choose a red ending, a green ending, or a blue ending. That was it.
But what people have pointed out was those are the options that the enemy goes, here's what I want you to choose one of these things.
Yeah.
And normally Shepard would be like, no, screw you. Here's my way of doing it.
Yeah.
But no, he's like, okay, cool.
I was waiting for that.
I was waiting for that. No, where's he going to do something? Be like, no, screw you. Here's because of all my work I put into the game. I'm going to take you.
At the end, it's basically saying at the end of the day, your choices didn't matter.
Exactly.
The only choice that matters is red.
Yeah. And that was really the downfall of BioWare.
One extra choice than Neo had.
That's right. That's right. You only had Red Book. Now, sticking to the streaming thing, I think we should talk a little bit about another TV series coming on the streaming network. The Witcher, starring Henry Cavill.
Superman.
Now, people... And which I find really, really funny. And we'll talk about how funny this is. People were really upset with the first picture. You have Geralt with the hair. They're going, "Oh, he looks like Legolas. Where's his manly beard?" It's like, and then let me just point out, this is based on the books.
Yeah, not on the game.
The books, people. In the game, he's 40 or 50. Hence, he looks more grizzled. In the books, he's young. This is like.
Young
Geralt doing young Geralt things. This is meant to. So he looked like he should look. Like I was like going. I would have liked the hair a little bit wider, but that's just personal.
But then
preference.
wasn't that just like a screen test or a?
It was a screen test. So obviously they'll figure it out. They're just testing what it's going to look like. But I was like going, okay, that's fine. And they go, oh, it looks like he's losing some mass. It's like, yeah, he can't be as bulky because the Witcher's fighting styles all nimble and spinning swords and stuff like that.
The Witcher isn't a walking tank.
No, because essentially the first Witcher game, you wake up after being asleep for hundreds of years or something, and that's why you're going, oh, what the hell's going on?
So just like a bear, out of hibernation. It looks like.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, but I am actually looking forward to that because again. And this all comes down to Game of Thrones. There wasn't a lot of fantasy TV series out and about, and I was really jonesing for some sword and sorcery. Game of Thrones is obviously fixated because you got that big epic battle scene and stuff. But then thankfully, because of how copycat producers they go, cool, where's my sword and sorcery genre? And now they're all making them. I'm like going, thank you, thank you, Game of Thrones, finally. And now I can be happy, and now I can die happy.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with you. I think he's a good enough actor to.
He's great.
Yeah.
Go for. I haven't read the books myself. I've only played the games.
They're in Polish,
I'm
so.
very.
They've translated them now, so you can read them on audible.com. Everyone's audible.com.
Or you can just learn Polish.
Or learn Polish, yeah.
I mean, Jackie Chan learned how to speak English from reading scripts.
Yeah.
You can.
But again, I like the Witcher series. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to work. Yeah. Some of the people when they first announced some of the races of people got really upset because Polish fantasy. They cast some African American leads, and I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care because it's not set in Poland. It's set in like Geralt of Rivia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at that point, who you cast doesn't really matter. It's all about can they play the role well? Can they are they going to look amazing?
I think it's going to be good, and to see some of the stuff Henry Cavill's done, he's been posted on his social media. He's now, bulked up.
Where it failed, where it will fail if he doesn't have if he is the sword play.
Yeah.
That is so key to this whole thing is how he handles the sword.
He's done sword play before. I can't remember.
No, he
was in Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, but
that wasn't a lot of sword.
That wasn't a lot of sword play. He was also in Immortals. He was also in
Immortals. Yeah, there you go.
That was the difference, but still, how he uses his swords is going to be important. That's going to be that's going to be. But they haven't really announced any. They've announced the principal cast. I think they're probably in. If they're doing
is Triss in it?
No, because Triss comes in later on in the story. So it's Yennefer.
Yennefer, yeah.
And the cast of Yennefer is like super young. And people go, how's it going to look? But she's a sorcerer, so age isn't meant to be sort of like nebulous in terms of like I can look however.
Have they said when we should expect this to be coming out?
No, and that's when everyone's waiting for. I mean, generally speaking, if they're doing screen tests, means they're getting probably close to production, which means they'll be shooting soon, which means probably next year. Okay. Probably, but it depends on how long the shooting takes. I want it soon, but. I'm an impatient man. I want everything now.
But you'd rather them take their time and get it right than rush it.
Absolutely. I mean, in my mind, he spends 8 months learning how to fight with a sword. Then they learns like all ancient martial arts styles with a sword. Then they the worst thing. And I hate when you see some of those really old sort of 90s fantasy things where you see the actor fight and you go, that's not you. Like, it's this, they spin the camera around so you don't see his face at the back of the head and they're going, your stunt double's amazing with a sword. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. And that's what, even in John Wick, that's what I said. That's why the guys who did John Wick also did the Matrix fight scenes. That's where they're from. They're saying they want... they don't cut away from the actor's face because they make the actor go through such absolute hell so that the actor can fight those scenes. And that shows to me a great dedication to to the role, but also good for the actor. I mean, perfect example for that was Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Anakin Skywalker, Revenge of the Sith. That sword fight that they did, they could do that in one take. That's how much they practiced that.
Oh, wow.
So, and you watch them play on the Blu-ray special editions and things like that, of the behind the scenes. Yeah, you watch them, they're spinning their sword, they're spinning their sabers, they're doing it all in literally, they're smooth, they can do it basically like by rote. So when you watch them screen, you're like, oh, that's amazing. It's because they spent months and months drilling their bodies to be able to do that.
Hugh Jackman was the same.
Same thing, yeah.
And apparently in, I think it was one of the Wolverine movies, like he was learning choreographs on the spot. Like they'd say, we've got to do it this way now instead of that way, and he'd be like quick as to. It probably comes from him being like a stage performer.
Yeah, and you know, I appreciate an actor who's willing to put in that kind of time and effort to a role.
So, do you appreciate Tom Cruise then?
No, because all right, okay, pause. I have. The more I live in this world, the more I try to separate the actors
from their
roles they play.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, Last Samurai, tops. Tom Cruise, Top Gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Tom Cruise, Eyes Wide Shut. Damn,
you're just explaining what you were doing while you were watching the movie.
So I try to separate the man from the character, because sometimes that can really affect how you view things, and it shouldn't. Someone's like the craft that they've put into that role, and Tom Cruise is, to his credit, he does a lot of tries to do as much stunts as he can.
Yeah.
Injures himself as well apparently now, because he's a 50-something-year-old man. He shouldn't be jumping out of a plane. That's kind of
almost 60.
Yeah, it's like you probably should stop right now. Even Jackie Chan went, okay, I'm not doing any more stunts after all the broken bones and things. But so I appreciate that about him. He's just some of his more recent movies. Again, I'm not really a fan of much of Tom Cruise's work apart from those few films I sort of mentioned. Again, I wasn't an '80s baby, so I didn't grow up on him being in his prime. The first Mission Impossible movie, all I remember was like the dropping down from the laser bit, and then like he catches the water droplet.
How much has that been imitated? That scene.
Yeah, I know. and
how many cat food ads have we seen where they've done that?
And to their credit, they've created an iconic scene. Yeah, definitely. To their credit,
definitely.
I really liked Last Summer, because I think I'm pretty sure Hans Zimmer did the score to that. So that's anything the Zim Man scores is amazing. The Z Man can't not score something amazingly.
You know my favorite bit from the Last Samurai is when the extra gets kicked in the nuts by a horse.
I didn't see that.
Like, it's dead set. It's like right there. It's in the film.
Yeah.
It's when they're lining up for battle or something, and he comes in the horse, and like Tom Cruise gets off it, and then the horse is just a little side kick into this extra's nuts, and the extra just goes, I'll show you later. Yeah. It's hilarious.
But I mean, the reason why I like that movie, like more than I should, we'll call that, is because back then we weren't a cynical society.
No.
Well, they're going, that's a cool movie. Yeah. That's just a good film. That is that. I mean, but now you're going, oh, it's the white savior saving us, and you're going,
reading way too much into the movie.
Except it was a good film, and then they're going, oh, look at that. I was like, no, look, it was a cool film. Yeah. Watch it for what it was.
Yeah. Billy Connolly was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, Billy Connolly was.
I like Billy Connolly.
Oh, he's a fantastic man.
I think Tom Cruise really did a good job in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Like his whole struggle with alcoholism, like that was so well done.
It was a great movie. I remember seeing it at the picture. I think I saw it twice.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
And it was, anyway, people watch it now and go, oh, I'm so cynical, blah, blah, blah. It's like, shut up.
Just watch it for what it is.
Yeah, it's a good film, like Avatar. Anyway.
It was sort of based on a book called Shogun.
Yep.
Big, thick, like 2,000-page book about an Englishman that washes up on the shores of Japan.
Yeah,
and gets integrated into their society.
See, when people say it's White Savior, it's like, no, if that movie was White Savior, he would have gone there and gone, okay, how are we going to win this war? We're going to learn to fight Western style with guns.
My way.
No, he goes, no, I'm embracing
your culture.
I'm embracing the culture, and I'm going to fight as a samurai in the battle.
He was a lost soul.
And
found redemption.
He would have just walked in and gone, let's do this.
Yeah.
And he was a part of their society.
Yeah,
It was,
grew up with them.
Like,
yeah.
and it's not even, and for heaven's sake, like, it's not even the white savior because no one was saved in that movie. Everybody died. Everybody died.
Yeah,
There's no white savior.
Yeah.
It's like he's a lost soul that found
It was
peace.
a
the white
exactly.
borderer.
That's what it was.
Exactly. That story of a man who adapted and worked with it, not,
Yeah.
here, look what I have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, he fully embraced it and
Yeah.
became part of it. And actually, I think there actually are stories in history where people have gone to Japan and just been accepted inside of the society as well. That's
Well, they did that with Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, didn't they do an Old Man Logan comic where he went over to Japan and...
yes. And in the Japanese movie, in the recent movie with that, Japan looks awfully like downtown Parramatta.
And there's not enough people. Like, everybody knows what a Japanese train station looks like.
That looks like Parramatta to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
What happened in Japan that everyone's like, we're all going on holiday?
Yeah, anyway. All right.
Yeah.
So, again, so back to the point. Streaming is awesome, and we've got plenty of
we just
streaming.
diverse a little bit.
For the final topic I want to talk about is the thing that's near and dearest to our hearts: gaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are coming up towards, I guess you'd call, the end of a generation. The PS5, the Xbox One. It's been about what? We're coming up to 5+ years, and that's generally where you start seeing the announcements for the new consoles.
Yeah.
So I want to go around the little group here and just on a little topics. One, favorite games of the generation.
Ooh.
Of the generation.
This generation.
Yeah, of this generation. And we're gonna put some real caveats in it. It can't be one that was it can't be a re-release. The Last of Us. I'm sorry, that's out.
Oh,
What about a reboot?
If it's a brand new game, that's
So you mean
acceptable.
like Tomb Raider?
Or God of War?
Yeah, that's something that's fine.
Yeah.
It has to, but essentially, it has to be a game that defined that in your mind was like you wouldn't be just like that's an awesome game. Next game, it has to be the game you played and just went like and you sat back and went,
What about these?
like
Yeah.
But then I also want to talk about where you think the consoles will go in the future. What are you looking forward to in, say, the next generation of consoles, and what's your fear for that?
Alright.
Let's start with Jamie because
Look,
he's about to like jump. Jamie's about to burst.
We're on my game with the PS4 is Horizon Zero Dawn. What am I looking forward to about the PS5? Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
That's lame. But
I know it's lame, but no.
So tell me, why did Horizon? Why was that your thing?
I've never played a game like it before. It blew my mind, and I was just like, I played I played it for like 6 months straight. I had to do
He
everything.
literally did. He literally played that game for like 6 months straight.
Yeah.
Different story, different world, great concept. Loved it.
And that was a game that I actually finished as well.
Yeah, it's because I made a bet with you that if you finished it, I'd like buy you coffee at the cinemas every time we went.
Yeah.
And you did finish it.
Well done.
Just not the DLC,
I did a thing.
which was really hard.
Right. So honestly, so next generation, what's your fears? What are you hoping for?
Well, I kind of trust PlayStation because they've always delivered. I don't know what else they could do, to be honest. Just better graphics, but then how much better can it get? You know,
It is what it is, yeah.
it is what it is. But I can't think of because Sony's always been for the player,
Yeah.
That is true.
and they tend to know what we want.
Yeah. Ryan.
I agree with what you said. For me, I was going to say God of War, but to be honest with you, I'm going to say Batman Arkham Asylum. Because of my history.
With Batman.
It was the
Batman.
first good open... Well, it wasn't the best open world Batman game because that went to Arkham City.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Wasn't
it
that
started...
PS3 though?
Arkham City, yeah.
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum, PS4.
Was the first one. That was where you were stuck in the actual asylum.
Arkham Knight, you mean?
Arkham Knight.
Oh no! Yes, we're not talking.
No, because
about that.
Asylum.
Well, I've
is
actually got them. No, but you're right. It can't be a remaster. I agree with you.
Yep.
I'm not going to say Arkham Knight, then I will say God of War.
God of War. There we go.
God of War. I've loved every single God of War game that has come out from the first all the way. I bought the ones where they were remastered for the PSP. I had them all, and I was very, very scared when they announced that they were doing the remake of God of War. It was taking it away from the Athens gods and bringing in the Norse gods like Thor and Balor and all that kind of thing. And it was the game that kept me up till 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, and I sat back and I watched the ending, and it was exactly like I thought, what a journey. And it is a game that I will replay at least once a year. Yeah. And it made me want to do every side quest, every little
the world
thing. And that So I'm going to say God of War. It was amazing.
Yeah. So for me, again, I can't... There's 2 games that sort of really...
SingStar?
See it.
No. Rockstar.
Doki Universe. Now, there are 2 games that sort of like stick out to my mind, and I'm trying to toss up between the 2.
Just
and I'm
get into us both.
All right. So first of all, obviously the one that stands out, Witcher.
Yeah.
Witcher 3.
Was that on PS4?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason why I was standing out is because that was one of the games where you could just basically lose yourself in. It's everything you want in a game where you're a wandering swordsman and you go from town to town doing odd jobs. But from a game mechanic standpoint, like normally if side quests that you go up to a peasant and they're like, I need 5 pieces of apples. Go get me that, and you go get it there. Here's some experience. This one, like the side quests had stories in them, so essentially, you're learning about the villagers' lives, and then you're screwing the lives up.
Why do they want the apples?
And it wasn't just go here and then come back kind of quest. You go around, you learn a few things, and then like the moment I guess that really sort of spoke to me was that there was a scene in the bar where this girl was on the stage playing a song. And it was just like this random song, and I was like, wow, that's an incredible piece of music. And I was like, wow, this game is incredible. And then as you sort of go through the world, you sort of make... it's a game with the choices and consequences of what you do in terms of what you do. Do you save the city of Temeria, or do you just accept and let them burn, which I did, and that's exactly because I sided with with one of the cities who then could conquer the Nilfgaard invasion. But the thing I liked more about that game was it's just that it's like you're amazing sort of Game of Thrones-esque sort of thing, and there was a lot of showing, not telling. And there was like this thing like going, okay, when you go to the king, you got to bow this way, and you got to do this, and then and if you don't do it, the king is like super annoyed at you. But then again, that was amazing. The thing that I just really appreciated about that game was they had these monsters in the world, and like each monster battle was like a challenge in itself. It wasn't just like you eventually got to a point where you were so powerful, like 50 like thugs jump at you. I'm like going, I'll just hold down my new sword skill and just do my 50 combo hit. Or he spins his sword around like going, I am so much better than you. But the thing that I liked and really appreciated that while watching about how they sort of built that game was that the styles that every single person that they were using in the game, so like the people you were fighting, they did the mocap for them, but they kept it very traditional European sword fighting. The style that they gave the witches was a fantasy, was meant to be fantasy. So he was spinning his sword, and so it gave a really cool contrast between these guys who were just fighting, like going and swinging their swords, or you got this dude Geralt who's like dancing around, spinning it behind his back. I'm going, see, you got that amazing contrast of sword styles. And I was like, that's amazing. And another game that sort of, to me, was the birth and then also the death of BioWare again, which is Dragon Age Inquisition.
Oh, yeah.
The birth, because after Mass Effect 3 was so bad, after Dragon Age 2 was like,
Inquisition.
You had Inquisition, and that game was spectacular.
It was.
That game was
really
fantastic.
It definitely had a few run-throughs of that.
That game, I mean, they gave you everything. It's like, do you want to be a warrior with a sword? Done. Do you want to be a Jedi? Here's a mage class where you literally get a magical sword. Yeah. That's a lightsaber. I'm like going, yes, I want to do that. It's like, oh, you want to be a big giant demon horned Qunari? Here you go. I was like, cool, that's amazing. But then that was just before BioWare went weird and terrible, and now they make terrible games. Anthem. Anyway, but the cool thing about that game is again is it's the choice and consequence that your character has on the world, where basically in one quest you capture a Tevinter mage, and I was a mage myself because I made my character the mage because I thought it was really funny. Like, the whole entire world hates mages, but yet the mage is now sitting on the throne of the Inquisition and now going to control you all. Suck it, bitches. Or in my mind, you are right. We are evil. Anyway. and so, and there's a bit where you in the game when after you do a quest, you sit on your throne, you sentence people to cry based upon the quest and the crimes that they did, and that was really amazing because your party members either like you or hate you based upon the sentences you give them. And there's one bit where you capture this Tevinter mage, and you're like, kill me, I don't care, whatever, I'm evil, blah, ha ha ha. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna sterile you. I'm gonna take away your mage gift and make you and turn you into a peasant, and then he just freaked the F out and no. I was going, and the cool thing was this guy's sitting in his throne and he's a mage himself, and he can be my character's a mage, but he was going, yep, you did a mage crime, you get a mage sentence.
Nice.
Bam. And I was like, the thing that I'm worried about most of all is and maybe many of you guys seem to be the last of a dying gaming breed.
Yes.
Which is we like single-player, story-driven games.
Yes.
We'll play some open world, that's fine, but I can't play 16 open world games a year. Maybe James
I agree.
No, I'll play the one or two games.
What's popular now is Battle Royale, jumping shoot. Fortnite, the new
Fortnite
Apex
now.
Legends or Warriors or whatever it's called.
Whatever the latest clone is.
No interest.
And I have no interest in that. And if that's the direction gaming is going, I'm...
Yeah.
At the same time, Red Dead Redemption 2 made a crap load of money.
Yeah, but...
Lots of people are interested in it.
But you got those games, and this is why I still probably will buy a PlayStation over an Xbox. I decide each year which one I'm going to get, and the reason why I'll still get a PlayStation is because they view their first-party titles, such as your Last of Us, God of War, Uncharted.
Yes.
They say we don't have to make all the money in the universe on these games. These games are what they call loss leaders in the industry. Basically, they expect to sell the game, they expect to sell some copies, they expect to take losses, but the whole purpose is, these are the things why you want to buy this. And you go, yes, it is. Those two, I will buy that.
Yep.
Well, Xbox seems to be buy Xbox because we're America.
Yeah.
It's but I'm not, so
Yeah.
what benefits do I have to buy Xbox? Because you
PlayStation
can buy
fans
America
about their
things.
fans.
I'm cool, but... So again, I would just want Sony to continue with their strategy of creating this amazing single-player, story-driven content.
Yes.
They'll have to make their multiplayer games because that's really... But
Cater to who you got to cater to.
Yeah. And, I mean, look at this. We got how many amazing... the joke of the generation is look at all these Sony exclusive titles of amazing story-driven content. What did you do, Microsoft? Oh, Crackdown 3. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, another Halo game. Oh, yeah. Wow, Master Chief's the villain now. Oh, he's on the run. Interesting. I thought
Halo 42.
Yeah. But that, again, not sure when it's coming out, the Ghost of Tsushima game. I'm looking at going, see, here's my theory on that game. I believe that's not going to be a PS4 game.
Yeah, it's going to be a PS5 game.
I reckon that's going to be the...
Do you reckon Cyberpunk as well is going to be...
Cyberpunk. When I was watching Cyberpunk, I'm going, there is no way the current console can handle that shit.
Yeah.
There's no way. You walk out to the city, you saw the cars and people moving around no. There is no way a current console is going to be going, I can handle it. Hold my beer, guys. I can handle it. I was watching it going, no, that's... But you know what? Yeah. Cyberpunk, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game because it looks incredible. Look, I would be very annoyed if they do a PS4 and 5 with it's on both. Just suck it up and say no, it's a PS5 game. Make it better. Make it the best.
I reckon it is a launch title.
Oh, that would be. And if it is, I'm like, that's. That's it. I'm done. I'm like,
that's it.
Well, because I've noticed that all console, I'd say a lot of the consoles have started with first-person games.
Yeah, because
launch games.
But again, I trust that developer more than any other developer. They gave us the freaking Witcher. Mm-hmm. They gave it, and this game looks like they've gone. Oh, you like The Witcher? Hold my beer. Watch me make something even more insane.
Yeah.
And again, even some of the concern I have, and this is quite actually a legitimate one, is in the game the characters take drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Australia's classification thing says if a game has a game that takes drugs recreationally, they will not allow it into the country.
Yes.
What about Fallout 4?
they didn't call. They had to change the names of the drugs. They went they called them like Stims and they called them like Jet and things like that. Well,
they got around it that
So
way.
what you do
in America, it's called morphine, and like they call it by the actual names. Anyway, but what unfortunately what the Witcher developer says is like we're not changing the game for anyone. This is the game.
Which is going to hinder us.
I got
Which
plenty
means I'm going to have to be a thief.
Chris.
And you know what? I will fly to a country, buy it, and bring it back. I'll be like...
No, Chris. Chris. The way to do it, I've got friends in America.
Yeah.
So we get them to buy the game,
Send it to us.
take the disc out of the case.
Very simply. We just go to New Zealand where they don't give it... Honestly, that's what we'll be doing. If they say, no, it's you can't buy it, I'll be like going, cool. New Zealand.
And while we're there, we can visit, all the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Done.
And
I was going to say, my cousin is a New Zealand resident who lives in Auckland, so
there you go.
he could buy it.
But essentially,
I'm actually planning a trip to New Zealand.
I would hope that. Oh man, but that's my one concern because I saw it in the trailer, like the thing where she like gets like the inhaler and she's like, and then she goes nuts out with a gun. I'm like going, awesome.
No, but see, that's okay. I think that's actually okay for classification. If she's like putting a needle and it says LED, LCD. Like sort
LSD,
of thing, LSD.
Yeah.
You were
but injecting a TV.
Yeah.
But again, small concern, but not about the games, about our stupid country. Anyway.
Yeah.
But right, Michael, your turn.
Yes. So the game that really stuck out for me in this generation would actually have to be Elder Scrolls Skyrim. That for me, I know you guys
That wasn't
probably
this generation. That was previous one.
No, it wasn't. It was this one.
No,
PlayStation 4, wasn't it?
No, that was PlayStation 3.
Yeah, PlayStation 3.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made the same mistake as I do. We love it that much.
Okay, what
It can't be a
PS4 games do you
re-release.
like?
I swear that was PlayStation 4.
Nah.
Nope.
It's on PlayStation 4.
But it was
Yeah.
but we
But
did
it-
Skyrim
yeah.
Day on PS3.
Started on 3.
Was that on PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, is that like Skyrim?
That's like my
Skyrim?
Batman games. I've got them on PS4 as the but remastered.
You got to remember,
recollection.
2011, buddy.
Yeah, it's a long time.
2011.
Yeah.
You're going 8 years ago.
Do you want to go with SingStar? Dance Revolution?
FIFA 2019 or something?
So you've
Really?
got God
Oh,
of
man,
War,
I
you've
swear
got
that was-
Red Dead, but you haven't played Red Dead.
I
You've
swear
got
that
Horizon
was...
Zero Dawn. You've got Uncharted 4.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah,
Uncharted
but I
4 was
didn't finish
good.
That was actually really good.
I tried 4.
What is so? Michael, what games have you finished on PS4?
That sound
My-
you can
my-
hear is the Google.
Yes.
I'm just double checking because I swear that was PlayStation 4.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Skyrim Day, I remember it.
While Michael's Googling that, I have the same concerns as Chris.
Because it was-
I am a single player gamer. I've never played multiplayer.
Yeah, so
I played
Never.
multiplayer way back when it was like Super Nintendo and Sega Master System
Yeah.
and all that. And
When you actually had multiple players in the same
in
room.
the same room,
Mario Kart.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's like, you know.
that's the
No, but
joy.
I am worried about the fate of the single player campaign gamer. So I'm hoping that doesn't go slowly the way of the buffalo, but we'll see.
yes.
Are you just going to pass your turn, Michael?
Well, I'm going to pass on that because my favourite games are not of this generation. However, my views on the future are, well, nothing that stands out to me right now in this moment. The only game I can think of that has had any real impact on me has been Skyrim. Because that
No, but like
just the
God
sense
of War,
of
though.
adventure.
You absolutely love God
Yeah,
of
but
War.
I didn't finish it though. I need to go back and finish
Well,
it.
you don't.
So-
You don't have to finish it. Like, just what stood out to you on PS4.
Well, yeah, it was
generation.
incredible. It was incredible. Don't get me wrong.
So then, is that your
but
answer?
it's not a timeless game for me right now.
Okay.
I still have to finish
that's
it.
fine.
Like whatever. I mean, you guys loved it. I do too.
I thought it was
I'm just
okay.
saying it's not.
I didn't love it.
It's not the special game for me. The special game is Skyrim or even
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 3, I think.
Yeah.
It's
It's a real shame about that.
Real special.
It's a real shame about Bethesda. With, Fallout 76.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, so the answer to the second part of my question, the question is, I think it's the like I think Google or who is it? Someone's about to release a console, but all it is a controller.
Google.
Yeah, Google.
Yeah,
Google.
I forget what it's called. But
Streaming
it's,
console.
Yeah, it's a streaming console. So there's no console. It's just a controller that you point at your TV and you can play games
Yeah.
straight on
That's pretty
Google. Which I think is the future. I think it's all going to be streaming. So you're going to have internet if you want a game, which I'm a little bit worried about.
You pretty much have to now anyway. You know, if you want the DLC, if you want the updates with the new stuff, like Spider-Man, for example. You want the good stuff.
But
And
the thing that annoys me about that sort of thing is like, all you need is like mega ultra fast internet. We have that here in Silicon Valley. Don't you guys have that in the rest of the world? Like, no, we do not.
It's like, it's pretty, like, that's the thing. It's all becoming more and more reliant on, and I'm like, and like, that's the thing. I am actually a purist. I'm a single player purist. Like, I love the single player games.
Yeah, I think we all are, man.
Like, I can't actually think of a game from this. You know what? There probably is one that I'm going to later go.
And you'll think about it when you walk out this door.
The next episode of Nerd Migos, Michael's going to go, you know what? It's that game.
And that's okay.
I just can't off the top of my head think of a game that's really impacted me this generation.
Yeah. Can you think of a game you've finished of this generation?
I can think of a few.
What games have you finished on PS4?
Meanwhile,
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, but you're paid to finish that.
Michael doesn't like to finish games.
You're just as bad, Chris.
I finish all my games that I love. I finish.
We maintain Chris doesn't. If Chris doesn't finish a game, it's because he lost the disc when he took it out to put a different game in.
Yeah.
Like,
I just have a really short attention span, and I'm going to be unapologetic about it.
Hey, was the last Metal Gear Solid? The last one was the one before.
Phantom Pain.
Phantom Pain was PS4.
Yeah, because I really love that as well.
Great. Yeah, that was really.
I finished that a few times.
I actually never played it.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I own it. I just don't.
Never
played it.
It does take a lot of effort to play because you've got to plan everything and recon stuff.
It just wasn't like, to me with Metal Gear, like the last one on PS4, PS3, that was the ending of the Metal Gear series. I was like, that's the end. That was literally the end.
For me, nothing.
They wrapped everything up. I was like, cool, I'm done. Awesome.
For me, nothing beats the second one, the one that was on PS1.
Oh,
was that PS1 or was it PS2?
It was PS1.
No, I thought it was PS2.
No, it was PS1.
No, it was PS2.
It was PS1.
It was PS2.
Then it was Metal Gear Solid 1.
No, so it's one of the PS1. Yes.
The one where it was 2 discs.
Yeah, that's Metal Gear Solid 1.
And then all I remember is you walking around in the snow out the front of the
Yeah,
base, and they're like, who's
Yeah,
printed
that's
these?
Metal Gear Solid 1.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
Because 2 was definitely that was with Raiden, and that was on PS2.
Yes, all right, yeah. I got
that was because I had that too.
Yeah, I love that game where it was like, sorry for bringing me out of retirement for this.
Yeah.
Snake.
Which was the Raiden one?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one where it starts off like
Sons of
on
Liberty,
a military base? And then the
yeah.
whole back row of people.
Yeah.
And I always used to trank everyone in the back row. They'd have the Z's above their heads.
Yeah. I still Metal Gear Solid 4 was still one of my favorite games. Because essentially, once you finish the game, you can go back into the new game plus, but you get to keep all the weapons.
Yeah.
And so I was walking around like the first level of the game with the 2 control dolls just picking up troops going. It was like, oh, big tank. Where's my railgun? I was like, this game. This is why new game plus exists because I'm super overpowered.
That was like Dragon's Dogma. It's just a complete cycle.
Yeah.
The game just keeps circling around, and you get more powerful and more powerful.
Again, I would love us to another one of those games. Dragon's
it was great.
I recently picked that up for like $5.
They re-released it.
Older console, yeah.
Nice.
But you know what?
They re-released it on PS4.
If there was a special game for me, I think, for this generation, I would probably have to say Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
I actually finished that about 2 or 3 times.
Oh, wow.
I actually did finish that.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. Yeah. And that for me...
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael's answer to the question.
Yeah, finally. Because again, I had to think about
Dragon
it.
Age.
That's fine.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
The ultimate villain in that game was your party member.
Yeah.
And he was in there for the entire game. And I was like going, holy cow!
That was amazing. Oh.
And they've announced him as the villain for the next game. And I'm like going,
yes.
Please, EA, do not close down the studio because of how bad
Here are your choices.
Please don't.
But it'll be blue, red. What was the other one?
Green.
Green.
Blue,
or
red, or green.
purple.
Magenta.
Anyway, I think that's it for the day.
Well, yeah.
I think that's it.
Well, tune in next time
to hear
as
all
we
about.
will about to discuss, or soon we will get together to discuss the state of Marvel and our wishes and hopes for the X-Men franchise and franchises going forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Until next time.
Yes.
This is the Nerd
Peace
Amigos.
out.
We are the Nerd Amigos, aren't we?
Yeah.
The Nerd Amigos.
See you later.
Bye.
Ciao.